our first topic is how Crisis on Infinite Earths scattered Batman's supporting characters. Let's share the screen. Okay, how this is by Brian CRONIN. So when Dogmank run on Batman ended, supporting cast members like Julia Penworth vanish post-crisis, not returning until the New 52 reboot. DC tried the concept pairing Batman and Detective Comics with one writer to continue plots from one book to another, and supporting cast members like Vicky Vale and Harvey Bullock were introduced, kidnapped in Batman 400, and then disappeared into comic book limbo. This is a split up on a dark, sad night feature where we look at instances where the supporting cast of a comic book series just disappeared into comic book limbo when either the title is canceled or if the direction of the series changes dramatically. Today we look at how Dogmank supporting cast for Batman just vanished when his run ended. This is due in part to Crisis on Infinite Earths also. During the early 80s, DC tried a bold concept where they would pair the two main Batman titles, Batman and Detective Comics, and have a single writer. Jerry Conway wrote both books as they were just one big Batman title that came out every 2 weeks, while each book would have their own art team. Conway would write both books as if it was just one series, so plots would continue from Batman directly into Detective Comics and then back into Batman. It was a novel idea, and since Conway was a talented writer, it worked out really well. When he left the book, Dogmoink took over him, and the setup remained the same. With Moink writing both books, this only changed when Denny O'Neil was set to take over as the new editor of the series in the wake of, as mentioned, Crisis on Infinite Earths, rebooting DC's continuity. The Crisis reboot was a weird one, and it wasn't a straight, clear cut. Okay, everything starts over from zero, but instead, a lot of the continuity remains the same. Basically, it's still happening now. But Crisis allowed the various comic book series to change how they wanted to reboot their respective characters. In the case of Superman, John Byrne gave Superman a brand new origin, but the idea was that the new origin would be in the past, and thus Superman's current comic book series would still be basically the same as it was before Crisis, just with a twist. The Batman titles followed that basic idea, as well as only a bit messier. Since Batman Year One, which redefines his origin, came out after a few post-crisis issues. Wow, oh boy. In any event, the main thing is that Moink's run coming to a close, Batman 400 was a farewell to a major era in the Batman titles, but it was also saying goodbye to a few different supporting cast members who didn't stick with the series post-crisis, at least not right away. Who was Julie Pennyworth? Julie Pennyworth, take note, is was introduced in the Batman titles in Detective Comics 532 by Doug Mink, Gene Colan, and Bob Smith when Alfred officially reconnect with his long lost daughter, Julia. Her mother was Mademoiselle Marie, who had a brilliant late 1950s war comic. After this whole long deal, where she thought that he murdered her mother, since her mother was saying Alfred's name as she died. This is the panel. Okay, look at that. Alfred, beautifully drawn by Gene Colan. Alfred bring her to Wayne Manor in Batman 370 by Don Newton and Alfredo Alcala, where Bruce invites Julia to stay at the manor as his guest long term. Okay, look at that panel. The trick is that Bruce never told his girlfriend, Vicky Vale, that Julia was staying with them. Yep. Talk about problems. Well, that's Bruce for you. So Julia moved out. However, Vicky wasn't a jerk about it, and she found Julia a job at her newspaper. But Julia wanted to do more than just work as a clerk, and Vicky was okay with it. But she reiterated that Julia had better not make a move on Bruce. Oh boy. Julia explains in Batman 375 that she is actually into Batman, as usual. However, Julia sees that Batman is into Catwoman, so she gives up on Batman. After Bruce and Vicky break up, she considers Bruce. But then Bruce gets another girlfriend, and Julia just gives up. Period. She was still one of the people close to Batman who was kidnapped by the bad guys in Batman 400. Yep. Oh boy. Beautifully drawn, man. This is good. She was then erased from continuity, not returning until the new 52 with a whole new take on the character. Well, that's DC for you. Vicky Vale had a confusing farewell from the Batman titles. Vicky Vale is an odd case. She's a major cast member of the Batman titles since the late 40s through the 1950s, but was lost in a major supporting cast shuffle. I think this is a shakeup. She didn't show up again until Jerry Conway's aforementioned run on both Batman titles. He brought her back as a mysterious uh, person in Detective Comics 509, but then rebuild her for good in Batman 344. In Detective Comics 511, she and Bruce started dating again, but Bruce doesn't know that she returned to Gotham City to prove that Bruce was Batman. There's always a catch, right? Bruce and Vicky eventually start the date for real once she is convinced that he isn't Batman. He eventually broke up, but she remained a supporting cast member. She's another one of the cast members to be kidnapped by the bad guys in Batman 400. Nice. That's Riddler and the Black Spider, which is not a costume, isn't even black. Vicky actually showed up in post-crisis, like right away, but Max Allan Collins had a new take on the character in Batman 403, where she was now a former girlfriend who now is a successful editor. This is used for a flashback story to introduce Jason Todd's new background. She then went into limbo until Alan Grant later brought her back for a short period was weird how no one tried to make her a major character after the 1989 Batman movie, although she did came back for a brief appearance around that time. Her disappearance reminds me of a bit of Catwoman, who was also a supporting cast member, but she was obviously dramatically revamped after Crisis, so she sort of counts as well. So, how about Harvey Bullock? Harvey Bullock was introduced in Batman 361 as part of a plot where Gotham City, his crooked mayor was plotting against Commissioner Gordon, and Bullock was a corrupt cop who was part of the mayor's plot, being installed as Gordon's new assistant. However, Moink enjoyed, Doug Mank enjoyed the writing, enjoyed writing Bullock. So after one of Bullock's practical jokes gives Gordon a heart attack, Bullock decides to turn over a new leaf and becomes a real good guy. Yeah, this is when that happened. Bullock was another one of the supporting cast members who was kidnapped in Batman 400. Poison Ivy. Batman Force rescued them, and it's nice to say goodbye to the cast. Bullock was put into comics limbo for a year after Mank left, but then returned to comics in a very strange place where I'll write about. It's a He returned in Checkmate. He returned to Batman titles in 1992 and has been a mainstay ever since. Okay, what can I say? Comics is a weird place, and honestly, those characters, especially Vicky Bale, who has an appearance in the movie, the 1989 movie, and also the Batman and Robin serials, movie serials in 1948. Uh, Kind of weird, right? That they've forgotten about her. Julia Pennyworth was changed, especially in Batwoman, the TV series, and well, that got canceled right away or after 3 seasons. And then there's who else? Harvey Bullock. Harvey Bullock was featured in the Batman, the animated series, and the comic book story, A Bullet for Bullock, was adapted in the cartoons, which was a nice touch. Anyway, on to the next topic. Next topic, the Fantastic Four movie has just cast their Silver Surfer. And honestly, a lot of people won't be happy. So, Marvel cast Julia Garner as the Silver Surfer. This confirms the previous rumors, but does it confirm even more woke MCU content coming from Kevin Feige? This is written by Matt McGloin. Is it RIP for the Fantastic Four? It's announced that Kevin Feige has done it again. As per the previous rumors, the MCU will be going with Julia Garner as the potential woke version of the Silver Surfer. Oh boy. I mean, why create Silver Surfer? Silver Surfer as female when there are other female heralds Galactus has. As per the previous rumors, the MCU is gone woke again. The trades report Julia Garner, who is known for Netflix Ozark, will be playing Shalabal, who is in the comics the lover of the real Silver Surfer, Norrin Rad. Oh, so that's a twist. The previous rumor said Anya Taylor-Joy was up to play the female Silver Surfer in the MCU. So there's no getting away from being gender swap, gender bend from the MCU. In the comics, Norrin Rad makes a deal with Galactus to save his planet by becoming his herald. So in the MCU, what could happen is that the roles are reversed when Shalabal attempts to save her man and becomes the herald of the Big G. Ah, this is getting weird and weird and weird. How woke will Fantastic Four be? Rumor also said Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm is miserable in the movie because she is married to or with Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards, who is all holding her back. Yeah, sounds woke. Another possibility is that Feige in the MCU is following 1999 Earth X story where Norrin Rad and Shalabal both become the Silver Surfer and serves as the twin heralds of Galactus. Maybe. However, for the previous 5 years of the MCU, it will have to be seen to be believed if Feige goes into two versions of the Silver Surfer and isn't replacing the original version with a woke version. Let's face it, it's really woke. Fantastic Four gets a release directed by July 25, 2025. Well, 20,000, 2025. Also starring includes Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and Ibn Moss Barak as Ben Grimm the Thing. It was previously said Marvel need to get Fantastic Four right before it's supposed to lead heavily into Avengers Secret Wars along with Deadpool and Wolverine. But I'm gonna be honest, this news comes up as a complete joke. Hashtag RIP Fantastic Four. Oh, okay. Well, you see more Julia Gardner tweets or Instagram posts. Okay. What can I say? Oh, you don't have to be woke to understand that they want an MCU after all. Sorry about saying that, my friend, Sox Bulletin. Next topic. This is from 2 days ago. Uh, Mike Mignola or Mignola uh, just did a stunning Batman cover for a story that rectifies the Dark Knight's greatest mistake almost 40 years later. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, this is by George Marston, Hellboy creator, Mike Mignola is paying homage to his own DC legacy with a new cover for a Batman story set in a world where Jason Todd never dies. Look at that. So the question, what if Jason Todd had lived in the original Batman Death in the Family story way back in 1988? That question was partially answered in DC's recent Foxmill printing of Batman 428, with an ending where Jason lives instead of dies. But now the publisher is digging even deeper into the ramification of a world where Jason Todd never died. In the improbability name from the DC Vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives, a new four-issue limited series coming this summer. Also along for the ride is artist Mike Mignola, who provides variant cover for Robin Lives #1, which pays homage to his own covers of Batman 426 up to 429, the issues in which the original Batman Death in the Family story was told, as seen here. In Death of the Family, Robin Lives, writer J.M. DeMatteis, and writer Rick and artist Rick Leonardi will dig into the next chapter in the tale of Jason Todd's survival, his plans for revenge against the Joker. The question is how Jason's survival might have changed the DC universe has some big ramification. Would Jason have become the anti-hero Red Hood if he had lived back in 1988? Would his successor, Tim Drake, have ever become Robin? That's just the tip of the iceberg. Huh. I doubt it if he'll become the Red Hood. He'll probably be Dark Robin or something. In 1988, DC raised the revolutionary idea to let fans decide the fate of then Robin Jason Todd by calling a 1-800 number and casting a vote. Reads DC's official announcement. Originally, fans decided that Jason would pay the ultimate price in the hands of the Joker, but a new facsimile of the original Batman 428 was released in December 2023, featuring an alternate ending in which Jason lives. Now, for the first time, readers will witness his plans for revenge against the Clown Prince of Crime. The facsimile edition, Batman 428, is mostly the same as the original published version, with the major exception of the last few pages, which reveal that Jason survived rather than detailing his death. The pages had previously seen the light, but the facsimile Batman 48 put them directly in the story as if fans had voted for Robin to live way back when. Continuing the classic and controversial story following the footsteps of Jim Starlin and Jim Aparo, two creators I greatly admired had been both a challenge and a joy, says writer J.M. Demetrius. In a statement accompanying the announcement, this is a great opportunity to tell a story that's big on action, but also takes on a very deep dive into the heads of our main characters as we ponder what would have happened if Jason Todd had survived the Joker's brutal attack and having a master like Rick Leonardi bringing it into life visually. I couldn't ask for anything more. So they're gonna do a multiverse with four issues. Demetrius and Leonardi has plenty of room to dig into the immediate impact of Jason's survival and maybe even the space to set up answers for what Jason's place in the ZC universe could have been down the road after he survived. So let's check out the gallery for the main cover. In the mainstream DC universe, where he died and was later resurrected, Jason has grown into the Red Hood, an anti-hero who first started as an antagonist to Batman and who has since grown into a tenuous working relationship with Batman, with the Dark Knight. He also found a place with audiences who have made Jason a cult favorite as Red Hood. I'm hoping this series will give readers a look down the path not chosen, a glimpse of the alternative to the original fallout of Batman 428. Adds Rick Lenardi, the artist. After people read it, maybe this choice made back in the day will seem vindicated, or maybe we'll see that it was a poor choice after all. From the Vault, Death in the Family, Robin Lives Summer 1 goes on sale July 10 with main cover by Leonardi and the aforementioned Mike Mignola variant seen above. Wow. I'm guessing DC uh, is planning a new multiverse. Wow. It's just wow. And I hope they be successful in all their endeavors. Yep. And to tell you the truth, I wasn't able to vote whether Jason lives or dies back then, only because I wasn't in the States back then. I wasn't even nope. Yeah.